Human beings venture into the highest parts of our planet at their peril.
Planet Earth holds the #1 spot on the IMDb list of top-rated TV shows, and the #3 one for good measure. Certainly, the Planet Earth series is a sight to behold. It's narrated by British national treasure David Attenborough and features footage from the most remote pockets of the planet collected over decades. But still, how is a BBC documentary about animals beating out the most popular narrative shows of all time like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones? The true secret to its power is that Planet Earth knows how to tell a story. Tell a story so well, in fact, that the series can make the life of a mole rat as suspenseful as a Jodie Foster thriller. So, let's look at how exactly Planet Earth shapes documentary footage into high drama.
Now he must choose. Fight or flee?
If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified about all of our new videos. The #1 reason we love stories is this: we feel empathy for the characters. Empathy is distinct from sympathy. It doesn't mean liking the characters necessarily. It means seeing parts of ourselves in them, recognizing our shared humanity. So, how do you make us recognize our humanity in animals? Planet Earth achieves this through anthropomorphic storytelling. The animals on screen are accessorized with human-like sentiments and thoughts.
But this year, she's late. No, that's not her. The other birds come and go. The clock is ticking.
There's a poetic license operating here. Clearly, if we saw into this bird's head, he wouldn't be thinking the clock is ticking, because birds don't use clocks. The narration translates the bird's situation into a human language and connects us to the character by referring to our own date-related anxieties.
Could this be her? At last.
Attenborough's narration humanizes the animals through speaking about them in the close third and second persons. Close third person speaks in he's or she's, but gives the audience access to the protagonist's inner thoughts and feelings.
A cuttlefish may be clever, but a shark is bigger, and it eats cuttlefish. Time to disappear. Back to the hunt.
These last two lines are said as if from inside the cuttlefish's inner mind. Second person uses the pronoun you to address us, the viewers, directly.
For all monkeys, morning is grooming time, a chance to catch up with friends. But unlike other monkeys, geladas chatter constantly while they do it. It's a great way to network while your hands are busy.
So this technique of speaking with you and your explicitly compares us, the viewers, to the animal character on screen. These tools of second and close third person bring out the analogies between our lives and what we're watching, inviting our emotional investment. We all know how stressful it can be to find your dream home only for someone else to snatch it up.
It's a perfect place to settle down. Well, it would be, but there's already someone here.
To travel through crowds.
For these commuters, it's rush hour.
To be judged by teachers or parents.
Technique. Room for improvement.
Or to feel the highs and lows of romance.
It's hard not to feel deflated when even your best isn't good enough.
The technique of using animals to illustrate human emotions and behaviors has been around for thousands of years. See Aesop's fables, many fairy tales, cartoons, children's books, and nowadays, all of our favorite viral animal videos. The reason animals are such popular vehicles for storytelling is that they are the perfect blank slate. We don't understand animals like we do people, so we more willingly accept the interpretation of the character given by the author of the story. Stories about humans are tied to certain cultural and behavioral codes, and we respond to the individual human in the story. Whereas stories about animals are universal, representing all of us. We can project our own memories, experiences, and feelings onto animals, not in spite of, but because of the fact that they aren't human. Think about, say, The Frog Prince. It's a story of a frog turned into a beautiful prince after a kiss. Maybe the clearest metaphor around for the transformative powers of love. Or The Ugly Duckling, a story that has become the shorthand for growing out of an awkward phase. Watching Planet Earth's tale of animals imbued with human emotions brings us back to the joy of experiencing children's stories. The universality of animal stories allows for discussions of larger questions of morality, truth, good and evil, and the bigger picture of our existence. Oddly, these big truths can sometimes get more lost in our adult stories, which are so concerned with the minutiae of specificity. Apart from children's stories, animal characters are often used in satire. Think Orwell's Animal Farm, HBO's Animals, even satirical papyruses from ancient Egypt and their modern counterparts, memes. By giving an animal character unpleasant human qualities, satirists through the ages have been able to A. avoid punishment for their criticisms of society, and B. give people the necessary distance from these caricatures to laugh at themselves. Planet Earth doesn't use very biting or explicit satire, but it does add gentle humor to frame animals in a way that lets us laugh at ourselves.
First, he tidies things up. Showing off in this jumble of leaves wouldn't be easy. And his beauty will stand out better against a plain background.
Another way Planet Earth keeps us enthralled is by never forgetting about the forces of antagonism.
But the vast herds do not travel alone. Wolves. Packs of them, 8 to 10 strong, shadow the migration.
The caribou migration begins as a story of endurance, but the addition of the wolves weaves in the element of immediate danger. The stakes are higher now. The forces of antagonism go against the hero's objective or desire, providing conflict, the lifeblood of all stories. If you look at Planet Earth stories, each one adheres to this principle, centering around the collision between the things the animals need and whatever is in their way. Here, it's the penguins' need to keep their eggs safe.
The penguins stay when all other creatures have fled, because each guards a treasure.
Versus the harsh winter.
There is no food and no water for them, and they will not see the sun again for 4 months. Surely no greater ordeal is faced by any animal.
Here, it's the need for water.
Elephants are in immediate danger. They must drink almost daily.
Versus the danger of nearby predators.
But they must share what remains with desperately thirsty animals of all kinds.
The formidable obstacles the animals are up against make us root for them. You might think, in theory, that these antagonists are too severe to feel relatable in modern first-world human life. Most of our stories aren't about the desperate search for food, water, and shelter, but fall higher on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, centering on things like internal conflict or self-realization. But at their core, all these different levels of conflict share a similar DNA. As Jean-Paul Sartre said, the essence of reality is scarcity, a universal and eternal lacking. There isn't enough of anything in this world to go around. Not enough food, not enough love, not enough justice, and never enough time. This lacking at the core driver of all our conflicts is as true for the animals around the watering hole as it is for the lonely kid at the school dance.
Shall we?
No thanks.
In our next Planet Earth video, we're continuing to look at how the show tells a story through some of its other techniques, like playing on genres and building a world. So stay tuned for part 2.
Never have those wildernesses been as fragile and as precious as they are today.
Hi guys, Susanna and Deborah here. If you like what we do and you want to help us grow, one of the best things you can do is support us on Patreon.
We make special polls for our patrons where you can vote for a video you want us to make.
And right now we're giving away 3 free months of Mubi, a really fantastic movie streaming service.
Love Mubi.
We're such fans.
Awesome.
And we're giving that away to a limited number of patrons, so be one of the first to go check it out.
The link is right here.